Protocol layering. A protocol defines the rules that both the sender and receiver and all intermediate devices need to follow to be able to communicate effectively. So, a protocol defines the set of rules. Protocol layering. It is to divide the task between different layers. So, each layer we need a protocol. For the functioning of each layer, we need a protocol. That is protocol layering. We consider two scenarios. First scenario, the communication is so simple that it can occur in only one layer. For example, we consider communication between Maria and Anne takes place in one layer, face to face, in the same language as shown in the figure. We'll see the figure. So this is a single layer protocol. Here Maria and Anne both are communicating. Here only one layer exists. So in this scenario, first Maria and Anne, they should greet each other when they meet. Second, they should confine their vocabulary. Third, each party should know refrain from speaking when another is speaking. Fourth, each party knows that the conversation should be a dialogue. Fifth, the words they exchange when they leave. So in this way they will follow and the communication is done in only one layer. So this is a single layer protocol. We'll consider the next scenario, that is the second scenario. Here the communication between Maria and Anne takes place in three layers, that is also shown in figure. Here in three layers, so protocol layering is implemented. This enables us to divide a complex task into a smaller and simpler task. So each layer we are saying it is a module. So modularity means independent layers. So each module is defined as a black box with inputs and outputs without concern how inputs are changed to outputs. We'll consider this scenario, that is the three-layer protocol. So three-layer protocol layering. Here Maria and Anne both are communicating. We assume that both are at far away distance. So they wish to communicate through mail. So what they are doing means, if we consider first, the conversation is started by Maria. So she has to talk. Both, since it is a dialogue, both can listen and talk. So now we assume that Maria is talking. So that text is a plain text. And this plain text, they don't want to refine what they are talking. So what they are doing means, here the plain text is encrypted in the layer 2. So after encrypting, the plain text becomes ciphertext. And this ciphertext is sent through mail in the layer 1. So the mail is carried out by the postal carrier facility and it is taken to the mailbox of Anne. So in the mailbox, Anne receives the mail and Anne from the mail she reveals the cipher text, and this cipher text here Anne will decrypt the cipher text and takes the plain text, that is the original message that Maria sent to Anne. So here in this position, Anne is at the task of listening. So layer 3 for Anne is here listen. So here it is a 3-layer protocol. Layer 3, listen or talk. Layer 2, encrypt or decrypt. Layer 1, send or receive. And here one more thing we can notice, that layer 3, both sender and receiver having the plain text. So the objects at the each layer, the objects are identical. And in the layer 2, it is ciphertext, it is an identical object, and the layer 1, it is as the mail. So objects are identical for both sender and receiver. So what are the advantages of protocol layering? It allows to separate the services from the implementation. So as we seen in the example, a layer needs to be able to receive a set of services from the lower layer and to give the services to the upper layer. So it won't care about how the layer is implemented or what process is going on. And in the internet communication, one more advantage is there are so many intermediate systems, but it needs only some layers, not all the layers it needs. So it is one of the advantage of layering the protocol or protocol layering. The principles for protocol layering. How we are going to layering the task. So first principle, to make each layer so that it is able to perform two opposite tasks, one in each direction. For example, layer 3 task is to listen in one direction and to talk in the opposite direction, other direction. And the layer 2 needs to be able to encrypt in one direction and to decrypt in the opposite direction. The first layer or the layer 1 needs to send a mail in one direction and to receive a mail in another direction. So this is the first principle. The second principle is the two objects under each layer at both sides should be identical. That also we have seen. So for example, the object under layer 3 at both should be the plain text, and the object under layer 2 at both sides should be a cipher text letter, and the object under layer 1 at both sides should be a piece of mail. So the object should be identical at both sides under each layer. Logical connection between peer layers. So here the layer to layer communication is given. So layer 3, sender is sending plain text, means receiver also having the plain text. So here there is a logical connection. The objects are identical, and here there is a logical connection between the layer 3 of sender and receiver. So that is Maria. And so here layer 3 communication is different. It will send the plain text, it will process the plain text. And layer 2 communication is, it has the object cipher text. So Here it process on the plain text and produce the ciphertext. Here it process on the ciphertext and produce the and decrypt the ciphertext and produce the plain text. But both will work on the object's ciphertext. This is layer 2 layer communication, layer 2 communication. And layer 1 communication is mail, sending and receiving mail. So the logical connection is a layer to layer connection, layer to layer connection. So that we can summarize it. The logical connections between each layer is shown in the above figure. And here the communication is layer to layer. And this logical connection or logical communication will give the better understanding for layering